Hi guys, it's Philip here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build this abstract composition using Cinema 4D and Octane Render. I was inspired by Peter Tarka and Omar Akil, two awesome designers, when I first started creating these abstract compositions. So this is work of Peter Tarka and this is work of Omar Akil. And this is my series of abstract compositions that I would like to teach you guys how to make in this video series. If you don't want to do the whole video and just would like to get the project files, they are available on Gumroad, so you can purchase them for $9. You can use the source files for your own work as a portfolio piece or in your commercial projects. Okay, now let's get started. The first thing we will need is a plane. So let's put a plane here. The size of a plane will be 10,300 width. And the height is 28,000. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. As for the segments, we will put 100 segments on each part, on width and height both. Okay, once we have a plane here, let's put the plane inside. Let's put the bevel deformer inside the plane. So while you're pressing shift, click on the bend deformer when you have the plane selected like this. The bend will be here, and now we have to resize the bend. The size of the bend should be, for here we can put 5,772, and here we should put 5,772 as well. This is our bend. Now let's increase the strength to -180, and we're going to rotate the bend like this, 19 degrees here and 19 degrees here. This is our backdrop that we're going to use. So we're building this. So to begin with, we will need the base. The base is a cylinder. So let's add one here. Okay, the cylinder will go. Let's click on the plane and move it here so that we can see our new items. The cylinder is now here. Let's just zoom out and resize the cylinder like this. So if you guys didn't know, I'm going to repeat this one. Maybe throughout the video I'm going to mention it again, but if you want to be in this view, it's F1 on your keyboard. If you want to be in top view, it's F2. F3 is the right view, and F4 is the front view. So this is how this looks like from the front. This is from the right, this is from top, and this is the view. So let's click on display here and go for constant shading lines so that we can see the segments. This is our cylinder here. I'd like to increase the segments so that it's smooth. And let's add caps, fillet, and add some fillet here in the radius so that we can see how this looks like. And yeah, this is it. Let's just now jump in the right view and put it here. Okay, now let's create a camera and position our angle. So because we're going to be modeling, looking through the camera, it's much easier that way. So if we jump here into Octane, live viewer, put a camera here, close Octane because we won't need it at the moment. So the Octane camera, we have to jump here to the object and change its focal length to 135. It looks like this. Now for the chord, let's right click on these values here for the coordinates to reset them. Now our camera is here. Let's just put it something like this. Put it somewhere here, and now if we jump into the front view, this is what we get. Let's zoom out a bit more, and this is fine. Now let's just click on this cylinder and make it a bit smaller, reduce the height because I think it was too big. Okay, let's begin with this. Jump to the render settings. On output, change the height and width. Actually set it to square. So you can just copy this value here and lock ratio, since we're going to be shooting from the square view. Now the camera is a bit changed, so you should zoom it out a bit like this. And just reposition the camera so that the cylinder is in the middle. Okay, this is it. Let's now actually decrease the height of the cylinder a bit more. This is the Y coordinate, but that's fine as well. Okay, the height is here. Let's just put it somewhere here. This is fine. And now we have to rotate the camera a bit from our right view. That's F3. Just click R on your keyboard and rotate something like this to the down. Only a few degrees, so that we are looking to the cylinder from the top. And now when we are here, jump to the coordinates of the camera and increase the y-axis, or something like, let's just zoom it out a bit, something like this, so that we are looking at this from the top. I'm going to decrease the height of this cylinder a bit more and pull it down. Okay, we can begin modeling the shapes now. Let's begin with this shape. It's a blue cube that's a bit changed, so let's start with, actually let's begin with this, because it's further to the back and it's not complex like this cloth. So this is the cylinder we're going to add first. It's a cylinder, we put it here, rotate it like this. I'm holding shift to make the rotation steps easier. Now increase the radius. On the top view on F2, I will jump somewhere here and rotate it something like this. Decrease the radius and put it somewhere here. I think this is fine. Now jump into the rotation segments and increase. Okay, go to caps, fillet, add some more fillet so that we get specular highlights from this element. Okay, this is our cylinder. We can leave it here. As you can see, the cylinder have 1, 2, 3 tubes that go like this. So let's add these. While you have the cylinder selected, you should go target the torus here, actually, not a tube. It's a torus, then control on your keyboard and the torus will appear here. Now let's jump into the front view because it's much easier to do it here. Increase the radius of the cylinder and decrease the pipe radius. Leave the pipe radius like this. Increase the rotation, the pipe segments. Actually increase the ring segments so that it's smooth. Now you should copy the cylinder, so Control C, Control V, and now decrease the ring radius. Okay, and now Control C, Control V for this cylinder and decrease this ring radius as well. So this is what we get. Hopefully we can select all 3 cylinders, jump into the top view using F2 and just pull them out like this so that we can see them. Okay, here they are. This is our first element. Let's continue adding this one. So this one is very simple. It's a cube. Put a cube here, jump into the top view, rotate it like this a bit. Okay, using E, I am activating the move tool, something like this. Okay, rotate it here. F1 to jump into this view, increase its size like this. Okay, now click on the tube, go into the object, fillet, press this, and this is fine. Fillet radius, this is fine. Now select the cube and click type C on your keyboard. This will make the object editable. Jump into the points mode here, and for the rectangle selection, select both of these, move them a bit down like this, and then select these and move them up. Okay, now go into the object mode here, go into the move tool, press R to rotate, and rotate this element something like this. Okay, I think we can jump into the points mode as well again and just select these, go to the top view and do something like this to make it look more like what's on the reference. Okay, let's now select everything that we have made here and just move it slightly to the back because we will need some space here. Okay, this is perfect. Let's now do this shape here. Actually, it's this shape is the only one that's visible, but let's begin. Okay, this is a cube. So I'll make another cube. Use T on your keyboard, press T, increase, put it somewhere here, and somewhere here. Increase its height, like this. Okay. Go into the object here, fillet, click this and create this fillet. This is perfect. Now, while you have the cube selected, go here, click this and find the boolean. It's here. Press Alt on your keyboard while having the cube selected. It will put the cube under the boolean. Now while you have the cube selected, press Control on your keyboard and add a capsule. Okay, capsule will be here, so we should put it here, and this creates a boolean hole here. We should do something like this. Okay, and now select this capsule, Control C, Control V to paste it here, and just move it down. Press T and scale it down a bit. Okay, now select these two and rotate these slightly like this. This is now perfect. With this cube here selected, Control C, Control V. Now this cube is here, and just resize it and put it on top of this cube. We will get that stacked thingy like this. Okay, let's jump into the right view and position it correctly here. Okay, now we want to put tube on top of this. So while you have this cube selected, press Control on your keyboard and add a tube here. Rotate it like this. Go into the top view, increase its size like this, and put it here. Let's jump here, and okay, this is perfect. Now go into the tube, go into fillet, and add some segments here. Okay, this is our tube. This is perfect. Let's now add this element here that is covering the capsule element. So it's like an arc, I think, but not completely arced. So let's do it like this. Create a rectangle, put it here, rescale it, something like this is fine. Now press C. The rectangle is now editable. Go into the points mode, go into the rectangle selection, select these two, pull them down a bit, and select these two and do something like this. Okay, it's Control A to select everything, right click and chamfer. Now do a bit of chamfer, something like this. Okay, actually let's chamfer it completely, undo, and okay, this is good. Now while pressing Alt, click on extrude with the edited rectangle selected. It will create an extrude like this. Okay, put it here. Okay, this is perfect. Now when I look at this, I have a feeling that our elements are a bit too small. So let's just jump in here and select everything except for the cylinder and plane and scale it up a bit. Okay, this is better. Now get back to this one, put it somewhere here, and duplicate this element. And while pressing Alt, double click on these dots here to hide it. Now add a caps here, so just here in the caps, do this. Okay, this is fine. Actually make a really small bevel here, like this, so it's barely visible. And now you want to make this hidden element, you want to make it appear again, and you want to make it editable by pressing C. Now, okay, now hide this element by using Alt and double clicking here, and now we have this. Okay, go into the polygon mode, press UL on your keyboard and select the outer edge like this. Right click and go split. Now delete the old one and you will get this thing only. Go into the polygon mode, Control A to select all the polygons, press D to extrude and add an extrusion like this. Make sure the create caps is selected. Okay. Now go into the edges, UL on your keyboard and select the outer edges like this, this, and this, and press MS on your keyboard to bevel, and just bevel it slightly. Left click and move, and add little bevel. Let's exit the camera mode to see the bevel. Okay, undo this, bevel this a bit more. Okay, we're missing the segments, so add a subdivision like this. Okay. Let's right click on our camera, go into the Cinema 4D tags. Actually, not Cinema 4D tags, but we want to lock this camera. I'm not sure where that tag was. Let's just see. Okay, into the rigging tags here, right click, it's protection. This is Cinema R24. Okay, now we can see this arc again. This is now perfect. It's finished. Let's add this element. It's a cloner, and inside of the cloner we have a small cube, really small cube. So add a new cube. Put it here, like this. Make it really small. So jump into the front view and make the cube really small. And just click on the cube here, go into the fillet, and add a bit of fillet here. It's really small. Okay. This is our cube. Now, while pressing the cube, while having the cube selected here, go into MoGraph and Cloner. While pressing Alt, the cube will become the child of the cloner. Now, make the cloner, grid array is fine, but we don't need 3 here. We need 3 here. Actually, more. Let's see. Okay, it's pretty dense. So we want to do this and this. Increase the number of these cubes. And increase it like this, and put that cloner somewhere here. Okay, this is fine. Select the cube again and scale it down a bit by pressing T. Okay, this element is done. Let's now create another one. Let's see this one here. It looks pretty similar to this, so let's just duplicate that element. So it's this bool here and this capsule. I'm going to select a few of these and move them somewhere here. Okay, actually, I'm not going to move them at all. But let's just press this bool and the capsule. By pressing Ctrl, we can select both. And then, while you have the Move tool selected, you press Ctrl on your keyboard, and you can move them to duplicate them like this. And then just scale these down, rotate a bit, position somewhere here, put them down. Let's put them somewhere here. Okay. Să dodam posliku. Okay, let's add these 1, 2, 3 cylinders on top of this. So while you have this, let's put it somewhere here. Let's delete this capsule, we won't need it. And actually here in the boolean for this capsule, let's just pull it down and increase its size. Okay, this is fine. Now for this cube, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and move it up. Scale it down like this. And put it on top of this one, like this. So while now press Ctrl and move to duplicate and move again. And now we have 3 more here. Okay. It's not 100% same as a reference, but it doesn't have really to be perfect. Let's add this shape here. It's a tube, so put it somewhere here, rotate it like this by 90 degrees, scale it up, put it somewhere here, increase its width. Okay, jump in here. Let's add some rotation segments so that it's smooth. Add a fillet. Now go into slice, select slice, and now create it like we want it to be, something like this. Go into the object and decrease the outer radius. Move it. Okay, this is nice. Let's decrease the outer radius a bit more. Okay. Okay, let's add this shape. We actually built this shape in the previous video, so I'm just going to open my previous project and copy it from here alongside this one, and I will reference in the video description the points in this video where you guys can jump and build these items, because I'm not going to do that here again. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So let me just open that project. Okay, this is the first project we did, and I'm going to use some models from this. If you like this project file, you can buy them on Gumroad. So let's just copy these three and these three like this. Control C, jump back to ours, and Control V. Now we get both of these. Let's now select the three of these. Let's make them slightly intersect. Okay, while selecting all of these, just move them down with pressing Control on your keyboard to duplicate, and now rotate like this. Because I think here, yeah, the base can be seen. It couldn't be seen on the last render, so we didn't really use it, but now we need it. So with all of these selected, Alt-G on your keyboard to make a group, and move it here. Now let's see here, we have to scale it up a bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, we can put it somewhere here. Scale it a bit down. And while you have the top one selected, pressing Control, add a sphere here, and put a sphere here, jump into the sphere and increase its segments so that it's smooth. Okay, we have sphere. Nice. And now we need this element to be in front of this C shape. So let's just select it here and put it here and do something like this. Okay, perfect. Let's just for now delete the materials here. Okay, this is the shape. Let's now add this shape. Once the sphere has enough segments, we should add a tube on top of it. So we need two tubes. While pressing Control, it's a torus, not a tube, sorry. Decrease it like this, and put it down, and increase the radius a bit like this. Okay, this is perfect. Pull it up, decrease its radius, put it here. And now we want to add that shape, so let's add another cylinder. While pressing Control, we will add it here. Let's exit our camera view. Okay. Okay, the cylinder is here. Let's reduce the radius and the height. Put it here. Jump into the caps and do this. No caps. Okay, this cylinder, let's increase the rotation segments. Let's put them to 12 because we are going to be using subdivision surface. We don't need a lot of them, and leave this to 2. Okay, actually leave this to 3. We will need 2 of these. Okay, now press C on the cylinder to make it editable, and press subdivision surface while pressing Alt to add it here. This is nice. Now when we have the cylinder selected, we can click Q on our keyboard to toggle the subdivision surface like this. Okay. Now go into the edge mode and UL on your keyboard to select this edge. Type E to jump into the move tool. Now you wanna actually Control A to move the cylinder like this. And now you wanna UL, control everything. Press T, press Control on your keyboard and left click to do this. Nice. Now press E and press Control on your keyboard again to extrude it like this. Now press I and press Control to inner extrude. Actually, that's not how it works. Press T to scale and press Control to do this. Okay, now release the left click and press Control and do it again. And do this. Okay, now let's Control C, Shift C, and type in here line cut. Actually, not line cut. Okay, now we want to use the loop cut. So either select loop path cut or Shift C and type loop cut. Add a cut here, add a cut here, and add a cut here. Okay, now jump back into here and control, while pressing control, pull it up. And now press T, do this a bit. E again, pull it up again. Okay, let's jump into the camera mode. Okay. And press T, control to move it in a bit. T to scale it. E, control to do this. Okay, this is okay. Now go into the polygon mode, UL on your keyboard to select everything here. Press I and uncheck preserve groups. Extrude a bit and and press D and extrude backwards. Check create caps, uncheck create caps to do this. Okay. Now let's press Q on our keyboard to activate the subdivision. Okay, this is what we get. This is fine as long as we make some changes. If you ever lose the screen like this, Control Shift Z to move back. Okay, now click here, press Q again. We will have to add some cuts. So we want to add a cut here and a cut here. We want to add a cut here and a cut maybe here, yes. And we want to add a cut here and another one here and another one here. Okay, this is our shape. Now when I look at it, it's a bit small, so let's make it bigger. So like this. Okay, this is fine. Let's add some stairs behind this sphere. Add a cube, put it here, leave the camera view. Okay, the tube will rescale the cube like this and put it, okay, let's put it here, rescale it here like this. Okay, so now go into the cube and add some segments. So let's see, it's these. Okay, 4 segments is okay. Press C, make it editable. Select these. Press D to extrude. Extrude it like this. So remember, it's 1, 2, 5 here for the extrude. So let's just, while pressing Control, select this, and now click here and press Enter again. And now while pressing Control, click this to deselect this one, and now click here and press Enter again. Okay, here are our stairs. We want to fillet them a bit, so let's just fillet using the deformer with our cube selected here. Find a bevel and press Shift while clicking this, and it will add a bevel here and just increase the offset a bit and increase the subdivision. Okay, these are our stairs. Let's jump back into the camera view and put the stairs here. This is fine. Okay, now when I look at this, we are missing some items here in the middle. So let's select this. It's our boolean. So with our boolean selected and these 3 tubes here, let's move that. Okay, while selecting everything, let's click C to make it all editable. And now we can use the T, so press T and use the scale tool to increase its width like this and do this. Okay, scale it down a bit. This is fine. Okay, now let's add this element. Let's add this little sphere. I don't exactly remember how these little points are added here, so I think I'm gonna just put a sphere there. So let's just start jumping here, add a sphere and put it here. Okay, add some segments. Okay, the sphere goes here. Let's now add the next element, it's this one. So these are two toruses, so add a torus here, put it up, rotate it 90 degrees, rotate it like this, put it, increase, scale it up, and okay. Okay, now let's slice this torus, so here into the slice, use the slice. This is fine, let's increase the radius a bit. Okay, now Control C, Control V to duplicate this torus, jump into the rotate tool, rotate it 180 degrees, like this. Okay, and now jump into the ring radius and decrease it. Actually, it's pipe radius, so decrease the pipe radius, and this is what we wanted. Let's jump into the front view to see how this looks like. If that's exactly what we wanted. Not actually, we want to increase the ring radius a bit so that it's somewhere here. Okay, these are the correct values. This is fine. Let's put a little pyramid behind this. So while pressing this, while selecting this, go into the pyramid and make sure to hold the control on your keyboard to add the pyramid here. Rotate it 80 degrees and put it here. Scale it up a bit and put the pyramid here. Okay, we want to add some bevel to the pyramid, so press C to make it editable, go into the edges, Control A to select all the edges, press M and then S on your keyboard and add some segments here. Okay, this is fine. Now behind the pyramid we have this shape. This is very simple, so let's do it. We want a cube, put the cube here, make it thin, pull it up, scale it up like this, put it here. Okay, add some segments, and now use the boolean, so add this cube to the as a child to the boolean. Okay, and now while pressing this cube, go and add a sphere while clicking control on your keyboard. The sphere is here. Let's just put it here. Okay, and now duplicate this sphere and just resize it a bit. And add some segments. Okay, we want to add some fillet to this shape here, so let's see. Press on the bool here, press C on your keyboard, use the mouse wheel button to select all of these and select connect objects plus delete. You can press the the shift C in your keyboard to open this and press connect objects plus delete. Now go to the edge mode and double click this edge, double click this edge, double click these. Or you have to click them manually. Deselect the edges that you don't want. Okay. Okay, with all of these selected, now you want to MS to bubble this. So MS and add some bubble. Okay, we are getting this, so what we have to do is jump into the point mode, Control A to select everything, right click and optimize. Now go back into the edge mode, press MS and then add a bevel. Add just a slight bevel so we don't ruin the geometry. This is fine. Let's leave the camera mode. Okay. Hopefully this will look good while on render. Let's see. I hope. Okay. Let's add a sphere. This is a little sphere that will go here. This is just a minor detail. We'll put it, add some segments to it. Okay, we want to add this element. Since we already built it in our previous video, I will just copy it from the previous video and show you the reference on where to jump to create it. So it's this one. Let's just paste it and put it here. Okay. This is fine. Let's now select our stairs, control and move to duplicate. Scale it down a bit like this. Okay. With having the stairs selected, let's add a rectangle here while pressing control to add it in a position. Now scale it up a bit and press C to make it editable. Now use the scale tool, the T, and then scale it here. Move it down. Okay, now go into the edge points mode. Control A to select everything. Right click chamfer. Chamfer this a bit. Actually, chamfer them completely, yeah. And then select only the middle here and move this. Okay. And now with everything selected, with pressing Alt on your keyboard, add it as a child of an extrude, and within the extrude increase the both bevels like this. Okay, and this is what we wanted. Let's now add this triangle here. The triangle is on end side, so an end side is here. Let's put the size to 3. This is our rectangle. Rotate it like this and put it, actually, okay, we have a triangle now here. Let's scale it up. This is a triangle, but we wanna make it hollow, so we will use a sweep. With this triangle selected here, create a rectangle and press C to make it editable, and the rectangle, make it like this. Now select on the end side and add it as a child of a sweep and put the rectangle here. Okay, not like, okay, we're like this. Sweep, rectangle, end side, rectangle, and then the triangle. This is our sweep, so while within the sweep, go into the caps and add some fillets. Okay, this is not working. We actually have to go into the rectangle here in the points mode and Control A to select everything, and then right click chamfer. And this will add a bevel to our sweep. Okay, this is our triangle, and now let's put it somewhere. We have to figure out where to put it. The rectangle. Okay, disable the, actually, let's put the triangle here, but move this element here. Okay, this is perfect. Now we want to add a sphere here, so just move this sphere here and put it here. So for the last few objects, it's actually like this one, this one, this one, this as well. I actually purchased these out of the abstract pack on the web, so I really don't know how to model this exactly at the moment. These are probably a Voronoi fracture. This is some sculpting maybe. This is a cloth deformer, actually a cloth simulator, and this is a similar simulation. So we can just add some abstract shapes, or actually we can play with the volume builder. Let's see. So here, and for example, we can add some meatballs. So let's use a meatball, put it here, and put a sphere as a child of a meatball. And now duplicate the sphere here. Okay, duplicate it again. Okay, I think this is fine. It will work, just like compositionally. We will leave it here. Then let's add some sort of a platonic element, maybe here, like this. Okay, let's make it editable. Go into the edge mode, Control A to select everything, and MS to fillet it like this. Okay. And now let's see what else do we want to add. We want to add some weird shape here, and we want to add this. So let's add a weird volume builder. Let's add another meatball actually. So here, let's duplicate it, put it somewhere behind this. Okay, somewhere here. And let's just, instead of the spheres, actually spheres are the best, let's just do something weird. Okay, like this. I think we're fine. What else should we add? Let's maybe add a pyramid. Let's put it here. Okay, C, edge mode, Control 8 and S to add a fillet. Okay, save everything. We're ready for rendering. So for rendering, let's just begin with adding an HDRI to see how this looks like. So let's add an Octane Light window, dock it here. Add an HDRI. I'm going to, this is a simple HDRI, you can find it on the web, but I will include it in the source files. So it's Studio 3. The HDRI is here. Let's actually jump in here and change to my Philips rendering Octane settings. So it's max samples 1000, diffuse depth, specular. Just copy these. If you don't understand what it works, just watch a video on that. Let's now render to see how this will look like. Okay, let's jump into the materials and remove this material as well. This is what we get. Let's rotate the HDRI a bit. Okay, how did I lit this? Okay, I lit this from two sides, mostly from the right, but a bit from the left. Maybe in this render we'll make it more dramatic and just like from one side. So let's rotate our HDRI here, or make it like this. We have a lot of shadows, I don't like that, so I will rotate it to come from the right, like this. It kinda adds a bit to the mysterious tone. Let's do it like this. Okay, let's leave the camera. I just want to see where the light is coming from. Okay. Okay, now let's create some colors. So we're going to use the same color palette as in our previous video. The first one, let's create the... Actually, since we're using the very same colors, please just jump back to the previous video and create these materials. It's super simple. I'm just gonna copy these materials here. Or you can create them yourself. Here are the codes. So this is Octane metallic material. And this is the code for the specular. You can just copy it. This in the roughness channel, it has this amount of roughness, and it has a fingerprint texture. The fingerprint texture, I will include it in the project files. It's this one. Okay. Now we have this material as well. It's a pinkish color. It's a standard glossy material with 0.32 roughness, and this is the diffuse color. You can just copy it. This is the blue material, same thing. The roughness is here, the diffuse is here. Let's see, an index of these is 1.3. This is the orange yellow material. In the diffuse, it's this. The purple material is this, so it's P6A1DF. And the black material, I don't think we will use a black material. I don't want anything black in this. So what happened here? Okay, let's now color the scene. I'm going to use the orange material for the background, the pink for the base, the gold for the stairs, and for this, and maybe even this, and this, and this. I'm gonna use purple for this one here, this one, this, maybe this. Actually, let's put it this here. Then pink for this cylinder here, all the colors for the little torises on top of it. Let's see how it looks. Actually, let's jump into the camera and the camera imager, enable camera imager, increase the exposure to 3, actually to 5, so that we can properly light this, so that we can properly shade this. We have some burning here. Let's increase the highlight compression. We will change the settings later. Let's just now shade this scene. We want a blue column. Actually, let's find our column here and put the blue shader on top of the whole group. So it's here. Right click, apply. Do the same here. So for the boolean, we want to click control and just drag and drop here to do this. Okay. I'm just gonna shade this anyway I want. You can really play around with it. There are really no rules with this. It's better if you don't copy it completely, I guess. I really like the golden color here. I think it adds some nice depth. Okay, now let's shade this part here. It's this boolean here. Control and pull it here. Okay. Add a lot of colors to these. You see this middle torus is not shaded. Maybe even add a gold. Oh, a lot of gold colors. Let's just duplicate this gold and make it more of a silver. So remove the situation here, and this should be silver. Okay, let's add some silver. This element, let's move it here so that it catches some light. Okay, let's make it this silver. Shade the cloner as well. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Why is this not blue? Let's just add this to the column. Okay, I want to change this. And add a blue to this one. And pink to this. But, okay, I think we're finished with shading. Let's turn off our HDRI and just light with lights. I'm gonna create a light here and pull it up. Let's just put this light on top to see how it would look like. So rotate it like this and increase its width. It's blowing everything out, but put it here. Jump into the light, really decrease its power. Jump into visibility, toggle camera visibility, shadow visibility, and general visibility, pull it down. Okay, we're getting this from our light, which I don't really like. I think it's too it's just too flat. So maybe if we make this light kind of smaller, let's rotate it like this, and just maybe put it here. Let's see, maybe we will get something nice out of this, I'm not sure. Or even rotate it like this. And put it somewhere here. Actually, I will light the backdrop like this. Okay, with this light selected, control and duplicated, I want to move that light somewhere here, similar to what we had in the HDRI. So let's put it somewhere here and increase its size. Rotate it something like this. Let's actually pull it out here and make it a lot bigger. Okay, so that we can get the soft shadows. Okay, let's play with the position a bit. Okay, let's see how this looks like without the light we added there. I think it looks even better. I will remove this light. Okay, so for the reference we had this and now we have this. It's not the same, but we didn't want to replicate it 100%. I just wanna have this blue kind of similar to this one. I'm not sure why. I don't like how dark it is here to the left. I think I'm gonna add another light, or turn on this HDRI and rotate it so that it comes from the left. Maybe something like this. Okay, yeah, this is interesting. It's really not the same as the reference we were going for, but that's fine. I just want to figure out why. Actually, the camera angle is different. And our base here is a bit different. Let's actually jump in here and reduce the height of our base. Okay, I like this little shadow below it. I think it adds something nice. This item is not shaded, so add something here. Actually, let's add a purple here and add this color here. Actually, this one. Okay, let's add some post-production work. Let's play with the camera a bit here. Let's see this, how these look. I like this, not this. Okay, I think AGF A color Futura 2 400 CD looks nice here for the exposure. I usually do this with exposure like this, but let's just increase the power of our lights. So I think the light is fine here with 9, for example. In the HDRI, let's increase it as well. Okay, this is fine, 2.18. Maybe decrease the light to like 8. And in our camera, let's see if we reduce the gamma a bit, what will happen. Okay, this is not good. Okay, the gamma is fine like this. Let's maybe rotate the light. Okay. I don't like how I don't like what happens here. So I want to do something with that. Let's just select this, rotate it like this, pressing Control, and just add something here maybe. Okay, these are ghetto fixes, we can call them like that. Okay. Okay, let's add some little lights in there. So I think this part here needs a bit of light. Let's try just putting a spherical light object there to see what will happen. So here, create a light, and in details, change it from rectangle to sphere, and put it, where was it? Somewhere here. Okay. And in the visibility, decrease everything and reduce its power. Increase the sampling rate of this light. Let's see what will happen. The light actually should be somewhere. Okay, let's put it here. Let's see what happens if we zoom in. Actually, let's turn on the render region here and just play with the light. Actually, let's turn off other lights. Okay, this is our light here. Let's see what happens if we change its temperature. Okay, we're lighting these. Turn off the render region. This is even not bad. The mysterious look. Okay, I'm gonna keep that light there. Yeah, this is the abstract composition. I think we're good to go here. Yeah, remember, if you don't want to watch, if you want to purchase this source file, they are available on Gumroad. I have a Patreon now, so if you guys want to support me and my work, feel free to sign up. A lot of cool stuff will be there, even these abstract composition, the project files. I'm going to give them away to my Patreons. And yeah, that's it. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, and see you in another video. Bye bye.